To answer the question right away, yes, I already do regret one of my biggest sales this month, but it was my biggest ever sale on eBay, and I took those profits and rolled them into more plays, so hopefully I won't regret it in upcoming months, but we'll talk about that as we get into it. So my name is Parrish Plays, going over my top sales for August 2025. I've sold almost $40,000 in sales on eBay this year, 100% positive feedback, and that'll be enough credibility check for me. Let's hop right into it. For August, I sold $4,660 worth of items, and unfortunately this does include taxes. eBay includes the taxes in your total sales number, but then takes it all out, takes taxes and fees out. Over here, net sales $3,400, which is pretty good for the month. Again, my goal is normally one item per day. I'm not doing this full-time, just a part-time thing, as I still have my full-time job, and one item a day gets me out of bed, helps me pack in the morning, keeps me on track. Average price per item was pretty good, $110. I like to keep that above $100. Again, you don't want to be getting out of bed to pack a $10 item or anything like that because it's just not really worth it. So I'm trying to stick to high dollar plays and high dollar cards going forward just to make better use of my time. And then you can see here, sales versus auction, only $31 of auctions, $4,600 fixed price. I do 99.9% of all my stuff via fixed price. I just sold some auction items while the market is hot just to see how they do. They didn't do very great. Still a much bigger fan of buying now rather than auctioning, even in a market this hot. So overall, a really good month. People talk about a summer slowdown, but I didn't really see it in August. Pokemon's still doing very, very well. So if August is doing this well, it's going to be crazy to see how October, November, December go, because those are typically very high sales months as people get ready for the holidays and people are stuck inside in the colder months up north. So my top sale of the month, this was actually a fun sale. This is my highest eBay sale ever for a single item. So you can see here my order total was right over $1,000, $1,042. Again, that includes tax for the buyer, but this is the Snorlax Pokemon Center promo, and this is the one that I mentioned I have a little bit of seller's remorse on it with the price doing what it's doing. So I sold this for about $1,000 in the middle of the month. So this card is now probably $1,200 on eBay. I thought I was cool stuff for selling it around $1,000. You know, that was my highest eBay sale ever. I paid 60 bucks for the box, got this promo, graded it, sold it for $1,000. I thought it was cool stuff. But now the card's gone up even more, 20%. You know, in the 2 weeks since I've sold it. So this is one I have a little bit of regret on, but I did take proceeds and I bought 3 Pokemon Center stamp promo cards. I bought another one of this. I bought the Pikachu from Paldea Evolved, and I bought the Charmander from Obsidian Flames, all Pokemon Center stamped. So I think, you know, it shows here $833 of proceeds. I probably put $400 into those 3 cards. So I'll grade those again, and then I put the rest into Blooming Waters. I think I bought 4 Blooming Waters boxes with the rest, about $120 each. So kind of split it up between keep the PSA plays moving, but also do some sealed investing because I don't want to go all in on one or the other. So when I have a really big sale like this, that's usually how I split it out. I put more into running the same plays that I just successfully ran, and then more into sealed product in case singles start going down anytime soon. But these Pokemon Center stamps have been one of my favorites. If you watch this channel, I've been talking about these for a little while now. I still love these cards. Like I said, I bought these cards to try to run the play again. And I think they're going crazy right now. So it's exactly why I'm selling into the strength, but I'm not totally just selling the strength and walking away from it because I do think there's still potential here. These could keep running up. Obviously, I'm not buying the Gem Mint 10s of these. I'm selling into a market like this, but I'll buy them raw and try to grade them and see what happens. These cards are typically pretty hard to grade though. I mean, they came out of the Pokemon Center ETBs. This was before they were putting them in the plastic with the dividers in there, so they kind of bounce around. It's very hard to grade these. So in a 10, I could see this card doing very well, but you know, at $1,000 when I paid 60 for it, I can't get too greedy. I gotta sell off some of them. So this was one that didn't make the cut. I still have one of these. My top play with these Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, my favorite thing, it was my favorite play of all the hobby. I would buy 4 of these when they released, and my wife and I would open 1 each. So we get 2 promo cards to grade, and then we'd sell 1, keep 1, and then we'd have 2 sealed boxes to keep 1, sell 1. So actually my 151 Elite Trainer box I sold when it hit $500 because I thought, again, I paid $240 for all 4 of the boxes, sold 1 for $500 that pays for all my boxes, and then I get to keep everything else for free. But then the Snorlax card ran to where it did, and again, higher than I valued it, so I sold into it. So now I've gotten $1,500 out of my 151 plays, and I have 1 of these Snorlaxes still in a PSA 9, and then 1 sealed Elite Trainer box that I'll keep. Again, my cost basis on these is obviously 0 because I've gotten much more money out of 151 Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes than I put in. So that's been my strategy, but again, now that Pokemon Center is limiting things, it's totally changed everything. So I only have 1 of the most recent ETBs going forward, and I've been buying these singles though to grade going forward as people open up their Pokemon Center ETBs. So that's kind of how I've had to pivot in this new market. But I'm still selling these while they're hot because, again, you never know. They can come down. All this is a stamp promo card. The Japanese version is probably $2 art rare, so you never know. Consumer demand is very fickle, especially in the collectible space, so I'll sell this while it's able to be sold at such a high price and then move it into something else. My next top sale, this is a fun one. My next two sales are actually the same. Both of them are the Celebrations Trio. I sold these as a lot, and I sold this one for $848 for the lot of 3. And I know what you're saying, that because you're watching my channel, you know the Pokemon market, you know that's expensive. But this is the main reason that I sell on eBay. I paid eBay, you'll see here the ad fee, $139 they took. You know, be screaming out at the top of your lungs, Perish, perish, eBay, 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 go somewhere else to sell these. Don't let eBay take your fees. But this is the reason that I sell on eBay, because even with those fees, the order earnings overall on this was $540, which is higher than I would have gotten if I had taken them elsewhere. Looking at the market value, we'll look at that on the next slide. But this highlights my strategy on these. I put out these at a very high price, you know, higher than market. So I put them for $800. You'll see sales tax was 48 of that. So I had it up, I think I had it up for 900 and I put on offers to accept. And so someone made me an offer of $800 on this. And that's the thing, when I pay eBay a high ad fee, they can put it all over their site. So someone might be looking for Yu-Gi-Oh cards or One Piece cards, and they might see these and be like, oh, I remember Pokemon from my childhood. These are really cool cards. And there's a lot of people with a lot of deep pockets, you know, much deeper than you and I. People that don't have to play this selling game and keep growing their collection. They just have so much money, they don't care. When they see something, they want to buy it. And that's the case with this. The people that are looking at these and finding these when eBay advertises it to them, a lot of times they're not looking for these cards specifically. They're making an impulse buy. They've been looking somewhere else and eBay feeds it to them based on their algorithm, and they are willing to spend more just because they have those deep pockets. They don't really know that the market value on these is probably only $550 to $600 somewhere in there, and they're just not market savvy enough to acknowledge that. They just see these cards and they want them now, and then they're willing to buy them. A lot of times these sales are to foreign individuals who can't get these cards wherever they are locally, and it's very easy to sell with eBay through their international program. I ship it to them, and they actually handle the international shipping, which is great. Any problems that arise from that, they take care of it totally. All I have to do is get it to the eBay shipping hub, which is, I think, is in California. So it makes things very easy. So you'll see here crazy fee amounts on these, but as you look at my other one that I didn't advertise as much, I actually make more from this, charging a higher rate up front and then letting eBay handle a bigger ad fee. Even with all that, I'm netting out way more. And again, you'll mention you should just take it to Instagram, you should just sell it that way, but eBay has such a huge reach that I can't get the same market value taking it elsewhere. So order earnings $540 on this. If you look at the prices of these from TCGPlayer, this is the Celebration set. PSA 10, $360 for the Charizard. Blastoise is $95, and the Venusaur is $86. If you add those up, funny enough, it's about $540, which is exactly what my order earnings was from this sale. So again, if you tell me to take it to Instagram, and if I took these to Instagram, whoever I'm selling it to on Instagram would be savvy enough to know, hey, I'm looking on TCGPlayer, I'm looking on eBay, I'm looking at last sold. These cards are only worth $540, so I want to get that. Most people are going to try to talk you down off a market price, obviously. They want to buy it 90%, maybe 85%. So then I'd be going down from there when on eBay, even after all of their fees, I'm netting more than these are worth. So that is the exact reason I sell on eBay, and I still think eBay is such a strong platform, especially the way they're going with eBay Live. I think they're really trying to take the next step and, you know, stay current, stay relevant, and all that stuff. And I love to see that because obviously this has been my way of selling the last 3 years, and it's for good reason. They can get me top dollar because they're willing to show it off in a way that gets people to buy, you know, impulsively rather than people who are very smart shoppers. But again, if you look at the next page, this was another one, the same exact sale, Gem Mint 10, all three of these from Celebrations. Sold this one for $620, so after tax it was even less than that. It was probably $585 or something like that for the lot, and that's what these are typically going for. They're going for around $600 on eBay. And you look at this after fees, so this transaction fees were only $74 plus $12, so under $100 for the fees on this. So that gets me $484 after earnings, and that's probably what I would get again if you took this to Instagram and people were looking at the market price. This $484 is probably what I would get. So those two are very similar in price, but again, I just can't get the eyes that I can get on Instagram that I can get on eBay. So even without having eBay charge a huge fee, you can still get really good sales. especially in these high dollars cards. If you allow offers, people like to really negotiate, feel like they're getting a deal on these. So like I said, had this listed for probably 650 when the market was 600, ended up selling it for 585, which was really good to me because, again, these celebrations cards are starting to go up, so I would rather sell these now and run more plays. So I went out and bought a ton of these celebrations cards before the price goes too crazy, and I have a bunch out at PSA right now and a bunch that I'm going to send off as well. So I'm continuing to run this play. I still have a high confidence in this play going forward because I think as Pokemon is closer to its 30th anniversary and we start hearing leaks and rumors and the announcement of all these celebrations set for the 30th, I think these celebrations cards will continue to do well. So that's kind of why people are buying these up, and that's why I sold so many of these this month. And this play has done very well for me. It's been my #1 play throughout the 3 years, definitely. And so that's why these cards are pretty easy to grade. So when you buy them online, you don't have to really worry about what condition they're in, because normally they're in pretty good condition. But even if you get a 9, I've been able to sell those in a lot and profit about $20 to $30, and that's super rare with plays. So these celebrations cards have been my bread and butter throughout the year because they command such a premium Gem Mint 10, and I can break even or make a little bit of money on the 9s because of the way the price is going on these celebrations cards. So I'm going to run this play as long as I can, specifically through the 30th anniversary, because I think they'll do very well through then. But after that, we'll kind of see where they go. But for now, I'm running this play as much as I can. And that's really all I've got. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what cards you'll be buying in September, what cards you are selling in September, and are you selling more than you're buying? I had been throughout the year selling more than I've been buying, but with 151 and celebrations, my main focus, I've actually flipped that switch. I've actually been buying more than I've been selling lately here through the end of the year to try to get ready. I want to build up as much inventory as I can going into October, November, so that I can sell off into a hot holiday market as well as the 30th anniversary come next year. So I've been running a ton of PSA plays, which is fun. I will actually have a PSA return live on Tuesday, and then I'll edit a video, have a much better presented video on Friday. But the live reveal will be tomorrow night, Tuesday, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to hop in and ask me any questions about that whole process or about selling on eBay, I'd love to have you guys. I'll reveal my grades, but I'll be doing a question and answers while I reveal those grades. So it'll be a little bit interactive, fun way to reveal my grades, and that one should be a good one. I haven't been spoiled on any of them, but I did get upcharged like 7 cards, so we'll see. That one will be fun. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day. Like this video if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon. Check out one of my other videos right over there, and I'll catch you guys in the next piece.